Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
If you have over $10,000 in credit card debt and are behind on your monthly payments, you need to make this free call right now. 800-428-4187. When you call the Stop Debt Hotline, you're taking the first steps for help. Debt specialists are part of a real team who will help you with all of your options. You could stop the collection calls and letters forever by calling the completely confidential toll-free number right now. 800-428-4187. 800-428-4187. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can handle your debt forever. Imagine no more late nights and no more debt. Don't try to face your creditors alone. Call the Stop Debt Hotline right now. 800-428-4187. 800-428-4187. Get free information now by calling the Stop Debt Hotline. 800-428-4187. Non-attorney spokesperson paid for by Debt Resolution Helpline. 102 Northeast 2nd Street, number 183, Boca Raton, Florida, 33432.
He was a star quarterback at Pensacola High, played alongside Gator great Steve Spurrier, and rose up the ranks to become head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Now, he's talking football on ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Coach K brings football to life year-round. The teams, the players, and the front office. Talk football with Coach K every day at noon on your radio. And Coach K live on Facebook and YouTube at ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
Good Wednesday afternoon. We've got a long meeting today. We're all hungry. Let's just get through this.
As you can see on the pie chart, pie.
Focus, Mary.
From the earnings report, we had some wings in September. Wings. Let's order Buffalo Wild Wings. We could concentrate better with full stomachs.
That's a game winner, Mary. You've earned yourself a promotion.
Earn yourself a promotion at your next staff meeting with Buffalo Wild Wings Pensacola large order takeout. BuffaloWildWings.com.
There's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns, and that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there.
We are broadcasters, your home for Pensacola sports, ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.
All sports, all the time. ESPN Pensacola, 94.5 WYCT Pensacola.
The following has been produced by Talk Football LLC. Former Florida Gators quarterback, NFL quarterback, and NFL head coach. Coach K. Stevenson has a resume second to none, and now he's sharing his insider information with you. Talk Football with Coach K starts right now on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Welcome into Talk Football with Coach K on this Thursday, June 13th. We're also on your HD radio, HD2 98.7 WYCT, and streaming on our website, ESPNpensacola.com. Welcome again into Talk Football with Coach K. I'm Jordan Glass, joined alongside me as always, Coach K. And if you want to be a part of today's show, You can text or call into our studio line, 972-1945. Again, it's 972-1945. Again, you can call or text that number, 850-972-1945. All right, Coach, as we get into some of the headlines from around the world of football, Coach, obviously the big one that kind of came out yesterday that had a lot of people looking at it going, uh-oh, what's going on here, is the news that we got about the New England Patriots filing a tampering charge against the Houston Texans. Now, this is related to the fact that the Houston Texans fired their GM, and obviously when you fire somebody, you look to rehire somebody to fill that position, and they're trying to do that, and it looks like the Texans had an eye on Nick Caserio, the director of player personnel for the New England Patriots. The Patriots didn't like that. Some things happened there that maybe they felt were tampering, and it looks like they have now decided to file tampering charges with the NFL against Houston.
Well, turnaround is fair play. You know, everybody likes to jump on the Patriots, but no, I don't blame them. I think this is somebody that they probably would, well, they obviously have plans for him in their organization, and they don't want to lose him. And if somebody has tried to entice him to go somewhere else, then that doesn't bode well. You never know what they'll do. So you have to stand up for yourself at that point, I think, and file the charges and go after them.
Absolutely, Coach. If they did in fact tamper with the situation there, that the New England Patriots are 100% in the right to go after them for that. Now, Coach, keeping it with the New England Patriots, we've talked about teams inside the NFL. Denver did it a couple of weeks ago where they had a home run hitting contest at their practice. They had water balloon fights and things like that. It's kind of a team building exercise, builds that camaraderie between the team inside the locker room, and also just kind of gives the team a break from the practices and the training camps through the summer, especially in the heat. Well, Bill Belichick decided to do that, Coach. Didn't quite go as planned. A little bit of an accident when they tried to do this with New England.
Yeah, they had evidently they were going to have a paintball fight, with the paintball guns and that type thing. And somehow, some way, Belichick is on another team from Van Noy, and he ends up shooting Van Noy, and I guess hurt him. It wasn't serious, but it could have been very serious. But anyway, they must have that's quite a departure from Belichick MO for sure, but they do things. All teams. I don't care who you are. You have to do things to kind of keep guys together and doing things together and a few enjoyable things along the road. This is what we can do together, and there's a certain camaraderie there that carries over into ball games. No doubt about that. We used to bring in. Of course, we had great pizza places in Buffalo, and we'd bring in pizza after pizza, and have pizza for them, let them off early, and have pizza and beer, and that was always a big attraction they look forward to.
All right, Coach, that sounds like an attraction I would look forward to right there. So that's sounds like a lot of fun. But yeah, Coach, this is definitely one of those situations where you hear it and. First and foremost, you hope Van Noy's okay, and it's not a serious injury there. And obviously, a paintball can do some damage, especially if it hits somebody in the face. So we do hope he's okay. But at the same time, it's nice to hear teams, especially a team like the New England Patriots, that are usually a very serious team, being able to kick back and relax and have some fun. Coach Phillip Rivers has decided to limit his number of reps as he prepares for the upcoming season. Coach, this is it's no surprise that he is winding down his career. He's in the twilight of his career. He's trying to stay healthy because one thing he wants to do before he calls it a career is win a Super Bowl. And he's got the team around him. I mean, look at how far they went last year. Coach, he's trying to do anything and everything he can at this point in his career to stay healthy, and limiting reps is what he's alluded to now. Coach, is this something that limiting reps in the offseason, is this going to be something in the long run that could actually benefit Phillip Rivers? Is it going to hurt Phillip Rivers because he's not getting as much work in as he normally would? Or is it, Coach, something that's just going to kind of fall in between there and not really make a difference at all?
Well, I think the latter is probably true, but I think it may help him at his age to take it easy in training camp, throwing the football. I know you can get a terribly sore arm, and it lasts. It's lingering. So he's probably wise to limit the number of throws and keep that arm fresh.
All right, Coach, and it looks like the Indianapolis Colts have agreed to a 4-year extension with cornerback Kenny Moore. And, Coach, they are trying to keep that talented team in place there in Indianapolis because they know, especially this year inside that division for them, they've got a great opportunity at winning it, especially with a guy at the quarterback position like Andrew Luck. So, Coach, looks like the Indianapolis Colts once again agreeing to a 4-year extension with their cornerback Kenny Moore.
Well, that's good. Listen, if they're doing something with contracts for any player, I've got to think they're worth it because Ballard has done a good job there, and Frank Reich has a good staff, and Frank does a great job, and I just think he's any time that they're trying to keep those players, that would indicate that he's a very, very good player. I don't know that much about him personally, but I would have to think he's a good player.
All right, Coach, and coming up in about 5 minutes, we are going to have a very special guest joining us here on Talk Football with Coach K. We've talked about Eli. We've talked about Peyton. Well, Coach, coming up in a few minutes, we've got a chance to talk to Archie Manning. He's going to be joining us here on Talk Football with Coach K, coming up around 12:15. So in about 4 to 5 minutes from now, we're going to take a timeout. And when we come back from that timeout, he'll be joining us. And, Coach, that's going to be a heck of an interview.
Well, it'll be certainly a great opportunity, I think, for our people that listen in. Listen, Archie Manning is one of the icons of football in this area. And certainly in the Ole Miss, I remember when he played at Ole Miss, he was just, gosh, when he was on the field, you never knew what was going to happen. I mean, Ole Miss could score at any time. He could take off and do it, or he could throw the ball and make the big play. Just a tremendous player, a tremendous person. And then when he was in pro football, I mean, you talk about a guy that could do it all, could run around and gain yardage on it with his legs, but also could throw the ball. Now, he was kind of a little side armor, but he got the ball where it was supposed to go most of the time. Good quarterback, great leader, and a tremendous, through all this, everything, tremendous family person. Got a wonderful family, and of course, we'll mention a couple of things that you probably saw ESPN, the special on ESPN, The Book of Manning, which was an outstanding presentation. And it's interesting that, he found his father who committed suicide. And he's been through the ups and downs, and of course, his family is just something that none of us would ever believe that we could be a part of. We have two sons, National Football League quarterbacks, good ones, each one having won 2 Super Bowls. That's quite a thing. So anyway, having said that, there are other accolades that we'll talk about just before he comes on. But Archie's a wonderful person, and he'll be a great guy to talk with on a number of different subjects. Now, if you have anything that in particular that you'd like to hear while Archie's on the phone with us, give us a call or text in, and we'll get it and get it on. But at any rate, it should be an interesting talk here with Archie.
No, Coach, it is going to be an amazing talk with him, and really looking forward to hearing all he has to say right here on Talk Football with Coach K. Real quick, Coach, before we go to break, it looks like we do have a trade to talk about inside the NFL. The Detroit Lions will be sending tight end Michael Roberts to the New England Patriots. This is exchanged for a 2020 conditional 7th-round pick from the Patriots. So the Detroit Lions will get a pick. The New England Patriots will get Michael Robbins, the tight end from the former tight end for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, well, they're obviously trying. They're going through a number of tight ends. I don't know how many they signed to go to camp, but they're going through a number of tight ends trying to get somebody who can do a little of what Gronkowski did. They've got to replace that. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get somebody that can give them the opportunity to maybe get a block and then be somewhat of a threat catching the football. doesn't have to be all. There's not anybody that would be able to do it all like Gronkowski, but they need to duplicate as much as they can, and I think that's what they're doing. They're just bringing them in, turn them out.
All right, Coach. Well, we're going to take our first time out. When we come back, we'll have more Talk Football with Coach K, and Archie Manning will be joining us right on the other side of this break on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
Sometimes your bank, your family, and your friends love you, but they don't have the money to help you. Sometimes we have chances to make money, but the old saying, you've got to have money to make money, rings true. At Pensacola Specialty Pond, we can help. If you have trucks, heavy equipment, airplanes, boats, jet skis, anything with value, Pensacola Specialty Pond can loan you that short-term money you need. No credit checks, and at Pensacola Specialty Pond, you're going to find the money and the discretion you need.
Now at 6428 Pensacola Boulevard, north of Car City. Call 432-9050, 432-9050.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Looking to build a deck? Think Trex is out of your price range? Well, now you should take a second look at the #1 name in outdoor living. Because the latest deck from Trex is engineered for the DIYer and priced to put the pressure on treated lumber. Plus, it comes with a 25-year fade and stain warranty. And that's something wood can't promise. Find Trex on shelves at the Home Depot and bring home the #1 name in outdoor living.
New Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline is engineered with 4 levels of defense against gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. It's sort of like having ninjas protect your engine. That helps keep your engine running like new. New Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. It's fuel for thought in engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every $1 spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
ESPN Pensacola 94.5, also on your HD radio at HD2 98.7 WICT, and streaming on our website, ESPNpensacola.com. Welcome back into Talk Football with Coach K. I'm Jordan Glass, joined alongside me as always, Coach K. And Coach, we are now joined by a very special guest. I will turn it over to you and let you take it away with the introduction.
We certainly are, and it's Archie Manning, and the father of the whole crew over there. Peyton and Eli and Cooper. And with all that Archie does, I think you have to realize from being a model parent and family man to his businesses, his philanthropic duties, and all that he is involved in. I just appreciate very much, Archie, you taking time to be with us. And I think our fans are certainly aware of the great college career you had at Ole Miss, and then 13 years in pro football and those years I often felt sorry for you at New Orleans at that point in the New Orleans team history. John Meekum had gone out early on and mortgaged the future of the franchise, brought in all of his childhood heroes into New Orleans, and they didn't build properly, and you were the recipient of quite a weakened football team, but God bless you, you did it.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure, Coach. Glad to be with you. Yeah, it was. I always tell people, I was the second pick in the draft, and I said, well, the Saints weren't very good at the time, or they wouldn't have had the second pick in the draft. But we didn't improve a whole lot. It was a lot of changes, and you know how that is when you have an organization that continues to change, not only coaches and assistants and players, but even front office people. It never really was very had much strength to it, or nothing was very solid really until after I'd retired, probably in the mid '80s, when Jim Finks came in and really put some stability in the organization.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. The changes that were made there were certainly needed, to say the least. Yeah, my year that I was a rookie out at San Diego, and the New Orleans Saints came out there for training camp. That was their first year of existence, and
right.
Oh my, they trained at La Jolla and the finest. Ate at the finest restaurants and had the finest of accommodations, and had an all-star cast of characters out there. I tell you what, they really did it upright.
They kind of went with I kind of came in the second wave. They did. The Saints expanded in 1967. Had a young owner. He was less than 30 years old, John Meekum, and so. Yeah. Tom Fears, as you remember, Coach, was the first head coach, and but they kind of went with a over the hill gang, if you will, because they tried. They picked a lot of players in the expansion draft. I can't remember what those exact numbers were, and I think teams were able to freeze, 25 players or so, and then you put another 15 or 20 on an expansion list, and so the Saints picked up a lot of players who were up in years, and some of them had great careers, like Jimmy Taylor and Gary Quazzo, Billy Kilmer, and even Paul Horning came here in the first year, never really played. Doug Atkins, but that formula didn't really work out. So then, about 4 years later, they kind of dropped that. They fired Tom Fears, and that's when I got drafted.
Well. A little history there, and I know there were a couple of friends of mine that knew you were coming on, wanted me to talk with you a little bit about the history of the Saints. They're big Saints fans, but I'd rather get on to a number of other things that I'm sure that we'd all like to hear about. And one is right now, I guess the big thing is the Giants and Eli's situation there with the Giants. I'll tell you, it looks to me, Archie, looking at it from an old coach's standpoint, it looks like really a good situation for Eli. If I think that left side of that line, that offensive line, which I thought was going to be better last year, with the big left tackle, Solder they got from New England, and
right.
And what was the young kid they drafted there at the left guard?
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player. They've got to be better this year up front.
I think that's really key. And of all your years, offensive lines is a real key. I think the thing, that when the Giants were successful back in middle of Eli's career, and they won a couple of Super Bowls, something they did real well. And you got to do a lot of things well. They played good defense, and a couple of Super Bowl teams got after. They had D-line that got after the quarterback good, but they ran the football. And we're football is a passing league now. The NFL is, even college is a passing league. But you always get to the end of the season in big games and playoff games, championship games, and so forth, and it's usually who can run the football. So it as much as football changes, it doesn't change, and it's going to always be about being able to play defense and run the football also. And the passing game is great, and people putting up a lot of numbers. But that's the one thing the Giants have not done in 6 years, really, is had a good running game. Now, I agree with you. If the line can be healthy and stable this year, I think they can really have a good running because they got a great running back. The kid from Penn State they drafted last year is a fantastic football player. And he had a good rookie year, but most of it was he on his own where he would break some runs, but they didn't really establish the run. He didn't get back to the line of scrimmage most of the time on runs, and which winds up in long yardage. So I think that's the key. You mentioned Eli. That's the key for Eli. That's the key for the football team. If they can run the football, then they can win some games, and they need to turn that around. And Eli knows that. I think Pat Sherman knows that. I think the whole organization knows that. That's going to be a real key.
Well, I tell you couldn't be more right about a number of things there, and one, a great running back, and they do need to run the football. Interesting, Archie. If you look at the Super Bowl, this past Super Bowl, the New England Patriots laid out a blueprint for winning football. They went back to 1960s football. If you watch it, they were in I formation with a tight end and two receivers. They ran the lead, the wham. They had the trap off that, and they had a heck of a running game, and they play action passed off of it. Now they split everything out in third down situations, but for the most part, they just lined up and went right at the Rams, and they weren't used to. It was like a team trying to play the wishbone when you haven't played it.
It was impressive, and also, we forget anytime you can do that too. You're keeping the ball away from a potent offense. The Rams have done some great things throughout the year offensively, and now the Patriots played good defense also that day, which they have for years. But also, you keep anytime you can establish that run like that, you're keeping the ball away from a potent offense. That's a big plus. But you're exactly right. That Super Bowl win, and the Patriots won a lot of them. They've won them different ways, but they won that one the old-fashioned way.
Oh, they sure did. And it's a blueprint for other people that are gonna play against the Rams this year. The Rams got to be a little bit careful about some of their personnel right now. I mean, it's great to have those inside backers that can run a 4.6 and 4.55, 4.6, and all of that, and it's great going sideline to sideline, making the tackle. But when they line up and come straight at you, you better be able to take it on, and you got to have a little beef up there to step up in there and take on those big fullbacks and tight ends. But back to the Giants here. How do you feel? Eli's approach is?
Well, yeah. Here's the deal with Eli, and we all know what the New York media can be like, and it's a lot of them and what they do. The one thing, in the Giants not playing great football in the last 2 years, or not playing real winning football all those years, they immediately say, well, Eli's old and Eli can't throw anymore and can't do that. And, I understand that, but that's just not the case. We have a football camp every year. We got our 24th one coming up. Eli, I know last year at our camp, Peyton told Eli, I said, Eli, you're throwing the ball better and with more velocity at age 27 than you did at age 37 than you did at age 27. So that's not the problem, So, that Eli can play better, and Eli wants to play better, and they drafted a really good young quarterback. And so the key is going to be for the Giants, obviously, is go out and try to win some football games. Now, when Eli was a rookie, they had Kurt Warner. They weren't winning much. and they made a change in mid-season because they weren't winning much. They decided they're going to give a young quarterback some experience, and he's the quarterback of the future. So Eli understands that. Daniel Jones is a good-looking prospect. We know him. We've had him in our camp. We're close to Duke and David Cutcliffe, their program.
Yeah.
But Eli's still got something in the tank, but they got to win football games. It's just as simple as that, and he knows that. So that's the key. And you mentioned the offensive line. You know, they lost a great player in Beckham, but I think they've got a good, solid player in Golden Tate who can. One thing about Odell, you had a great player like that. You feel like you have to get the ball to him. He gets double covered just about all the time, and that runs into problems, So I believe they'll be able, with their receivers, if they're all healthy this year, spread the ball around more, and hopefully that'll be a key, and balance that with the great running back who's also a good receiver, and hopefully they'll have a good diversified and good offense, a good balanced offense.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. That is right on the money. And I'll tell you, sometimes, and you have to be careful. Obviously, you got to have talent and all that. But I'll promise you, you have to balance that out with the possible disruptions that you might have. Too, you can't have too many divas, if you know what I mean. You gotta.
Oh well, it's drama. Drama is always going to be around football, but most of the time you can kind of go about your business better if there's not a lot of drama. So we'll see how it goes.
Right. Well, what's on tap here for Peyton? I understand he turned down decided not to take the Monday Night Football job.
Right. He decided not to do that. He just didn't feel like that's something he wants to do. Peyton's really busy. Does a lot of projects. Does a lot of corporate speaking, and he still has a good relationship with several companies, and he's also close to a lot of football people where he's invited into some teams. They front office people have him in, and he kind of learns some things about that. He's real excited about a project he's doing, Coach, this fall. He's been working on it for 2 years now. He's about to wrap it up. As most people know, we have the 100th year of the NFL coming up. So ESPN and Peyton have teamed up to do a series of shows about the history of the NFL. And he's been working on it 2 years, and it'll premiere in July. It's called Peyton's Places. And so he's gone around the country for 2 years and interviewed and done a lot of different shows on historical things in the league. I'll give you a couple examples. I've seen a few of them. He did one on the Immaculate Reception. We all remember that years ago when Pittsburgh won an unbelievable playoff game over the Raiders when Franco Harris grabbed a batted ball. And
right.
It was very controversial, but it was a great, big upset, great win. He did another one on Jerry Rice. He probably, declared the greatest player of all time. Well, about his time with him. I just saw a copy of one he did with Ray Lewis, who, I always talk about the great middle linebackers I played against in my early years, Dick Butkus and Ray Nitschke and Jack Lambert, Tommy Nobis. But, Ray Lewis is certainly one of the great linebackers of all time with his speed and the way he played the game. And, of course, he was someone that Peyton went against a lot. The Raven defense was good, and they had some great battles and had a lot of respect for each other. So, anyway, that's something to look forward to this fall. I've seen several of them. He's worked hard to. I think they'll be good, entertaining shows. But Peyton's doing fine. He's just doing enjoying his time after football. He's got twins that are 8 years old, so he's doing little league and soccer and all that kind of stuff, and everything's good. He'll be here in 2 weeks for our Manning Passing Academy again. He's never missed a minute of it. None of my boys have in 24 years.
That's wonderful. Listen, I want to impose on you and see if you could hang on. We've got to take a quick break, but I want to get back and talk about your camp and about Cooper a little bit too, and some other things. So if you could hang on, I would appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank
no
you.
Problem.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When it comes to the playoffs, coverage is everything. The same applies to the wireless game. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get full nationwide coverage on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks, but for up to 50% less than those big carriers charge, for the exact same high-speed networks. It's like getting full-court coverage at half-court prices. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data for just $45 a month, only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
At AutoZone, helping you get more done is what we do best. And if your check engine light is on, our free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you learn what the problem is so you can fix it the first time. And the best part is, it'll do it for free, helping you save time and money down the road. Visit any of our 5,500 locations nationwide and let us do more for you. Restrictions and details in store.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Slam Jam Bam, baby!
Hey, Dick, what are you doing? Warming up for the game?
I call all the games I watch, even when I can't get tickets. It helps bring that stadium atmosphere to wherever I'm watching from. Oh, the diaper dandy does it again.
Come on, Dick, save it for the air. We've got a game. And check out Vivid Seats. It's the easiest way to get all the tickets to the games you want to go to.
Vivid Seats for the win, baby!
Vivid Seats. Vivid Seats.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Welcome back into Talk Football with Coach K. I'll now turn it back over to Coach K and rejoin the interview with Archie Manning, already in progress.
Okay, Archie, I really appreciate you hanging on there.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for taking your time. Want to be able to talk about your camp. We've got a number of listeners out there that have sons that I think would benefit. Anybody would benefit if they're of that age in going to your camp. I know we sent our godson over there 2 or 3 years ago, and he's done a heck of a job. He's a good high school player. We'll finish up this year in high school, and already has a couple of offers, 3 or 4 offers. So that's it's a good camp. It's a great way to make sure that your kids are going someplace that they're going to be safe and they're going to be around good people. So,
well, I appreciate it, Coach. I appreciate it. We're proud of our camp. It's hard to believe it's our 24th year, and we started this camp in 1996. Oh, and by the way, of course, we've had just hundreds and hundreds of kids from over in y'all's part of the country, in that area. That's not very far. And over here, close to New Orleans, we're at Nicholls State, which is just about 40 miles from New Orleans, Thibodaux, Louisiana. But we started the camp it was really Peyton's idea. He was a junior at Tennessee, and he had been to the Bowden Passing Academy, which Terry Bowden and his Bobby Bowden and Tommy, all of the Bowden family had a camp over at Stanford in Birmingham, and Peyton had been as a high school player. And so we kind of copied that, and it really, a lot of people have a little bit of a misconception about the camp in that we're not trying to just get kids that are going to play college football or going to play pro football. We really just trying to enhance the high school experience for high school quarterbacks and receivers. We just feel like that high school football is a great institution, and the young men that choose to play it should have a good experience and should enjoy it. And there's a lot of benefit in playing. Everybody can't go to college and play. Everybody can't be pros. So we try to enhance that experience for them, help them along the way, have a lot of fun as we do it. I got a ton of coaches have been coming for 15, 20, 24 years. And then we bring in 40 college quarterbacks, starting college quarterbacks. They coach our kids. But, of course, they work out and spend a lot of time with Peyton and Eli. So it kind of works like that. And it's just been fun. It's just been fun. We'll have 1,200 kids again from 47 states and Canada this year. And they'll all roll into Thibodeau in 2 weeks. And we think we know, we've been doing it so long. We think we got it figured out. We think we know what we're doing. But we sure have fun, and we're real proud of the results that we've had.
Well, I can assure you everything I've ever heard has been the highest quality camp, and we appreciate it. I think it's good for these kids, very good for them. Let me ask you something about did I hear that Cooper has a son that's going to be a pretty good athlete?
Well, Cooper's got our oldest grandchildren. Cooper lives here in New Orleans, and his daughter May is our oldest grandchild. She's 16. But then he's got two boys. Arch will be a freshman in high school next year, and then his little brother Hyde will be an 8th grader. And Arch is a little quarterback, and had a real good year in middle school this past year. Goes to Newman High School here in New Orleans, same school where all three of my boys went. They played. It's not a big time football power. It's 2A football here in Louisiana. But he's a good little player coach. He likes it a lot, works at it, and throws the ball pretty good, runs around. So we're trying to play it down. Obviously he gets a little attention. So Cooper's doing a good job of kind of playing that down. We live in a different world now of social media and so forth. The TV station here kind of covered the spring game, then he had a good game, and then all of a sudden everything went crazy with social media. So, but he handles it, and we'll handle it, and it's fun to know we're going to be. For me personally, just to get back out there on Friday nights. To me, there's just nothing like high school football, and I love the people that coach it, and especially the long-time people who've been doing it forever, and as well as anyone. Those are the men that have done a lot for our society. They've turned they're the ones that turn boys into men, and we all should feel indebted to them. And I've always encouraged people, if they don't have anything to do on a Friday night, to go out and watch a high school football game. There's nothing like it.
Oh, you said it all there. I couldn't agree with you more. It's something very, very special, and I've told a lot of kids that maybe the most important and the most memorable times of your life will be playing high school football. I'm not even going any further. Let me ask you this, Archie. You keep up, I'm sure, with like most everybody else. What do you see? How do you look at the NFL? Let's boil it down to the NFC right now. Where do you see the power in the NFC?
Well, I guess you'd have to accuse me of being a homer. But I kind of start with New Orleans. I live here now. I don't see the Saints play every week. I'm watching the Giants, and for the last 20 years I was watching the Colts and the Giants and the Broncos and the Giants. But the Saints have a really good football team, led by an outstanding quarterback, a future Hall of Famer, and they got good people. Defense was much, much improved last year. Actually, the last 2 years, much improved. But that was their weakness for a while. So they fill in a couple of spots. They're going to be hard to handle, but it's a lot of competition out there. We talked about the Rams and how explosive they are, and there's always it's going to be interesting to see. To me, with a new coach up in Green Bay. That Minnesota bunch has got a lot of football players. They were a little disappointing last year, but they're solid. And so it comes. I think Atlanta will rebound. Don't know about Carolina. A lot of that will be on Cam Newton's health. He's back 100%. They got a lot of good players, so it's a tough. The Bears, a great young quarterback, and defense was outstanding last year.
I couldn't agree with you more. I tell you, the Bears and the Vikings got to be careful with both those. Yeah.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, it's some really good teams out there. There's some doggone good teams. So it could be, and you go. We talked about the Giants, but you look in that division. It's just 2 years ago the Eagles won a Super Bowl. And the Cowboys are gradually getting a little better. If they get a I think Dak Prescott does a good job. They get that running back healthy all year, and that offensive line that they had. I mean, we talked about how valuable it is to run the football. Now, that bunch can run the football there when they're all healthy.
Right. What do you see in AFC? Flip it over.
Well, you always start with the Patriots. I mean, they just do such a great job of Coach Belichick does such a great job coaching that football team. They lose people, and it seems like they always fill in. And, they'll mess around and lose a couple of games, and everybody will write gloom and doom for them. But at the end, they always win their division. They're always there at playoff time. You usually get to the Super Bowl. So you start with them. But in their division, I think they'll still be strong. The really talented divisions always are kind of that black and blue bunch, and with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati was off a little bit, but they're a pretty solid team. Everybody's talking about the Browns, and I think they finally do have the talent where they can compete. Now, with everybody picking them, and it's a lot's going to depend how they handle it. But they do have a talented football team, an outstanding young quarterback, and if Beckham just goes in there and plays football, I mean, he's tremendous talent. Opens up the field. Makes plays and opens up the field for a lot more people. I tell you, a pretty good football team too is the Chargers out west. They had some people hurt. They get all their people back. They played a good brand of football last year, and they could be somebody to contend with. And I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out along the way. Well, Kansas City, my gosh, that young guy is a phenomenal young player. If he can come back and have that kind of year again, and they tighten up their defense a little bit, I mean, they were really a play away from the Super Bowl themselves. For what a guy lined up off sides, they beat the Patriots. So that bunch, Andy's done a great job for years as a coach, and it might be their time. Who knows?
Couldn't agree with you more. I'd throw the Colts in there too.
Yep. Got a good young football team. Boy,
they do.
They got a bunch of good young players. I think Frank Reich, Peyton thinks the world of Frank Reich. They got a good general manager that's getting the job done there, and the quarterbacks are just outstanding. One of the smartest quarterbacks in the league, physically gifted. Keep him healthy. They'll make waves. Yeah, they got the best young team in the National Football League.
Yeah, and that's a good example. Two good examples there. One, Frank Reich, and I love Frank. I drafted Frank at Buffalo, out of Maryland, and he's just a first class person, and will do a great job, no question about it. But a good example the Colts set was I've never seen a kid, Archie. Now, I've been around it a long time. I don't claim to be a great offensive line coach, but you got to know how much that means to a football team up there. And I have never seen, never's a long time, but I have never seen a first-year rookie do what Nelson did for the Colts this last year.
Yep.
Kid out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, you're right. No, they said great things about him coming out, but he lived up to every bit of it. He just went in there and they got three high draft choice. I think all three first draft choice players that wound up starting and playing, and they're young too.
Yeah,
so it's outstanding.
This Nelson man handled people in the NFL like a 7, 8, 10-year vet. He was amazing. Let me flip on you here real quick. I hate to lose you. Would love to have all day to chat, but I have to get to college here real quick. We do a lot of course, we specialize in college and pro.
Sure.
But on the college scene, I know you're Ole Miss. Keep up with what's going on there. First, what is going on at Ole Miss and
well, it's kind of the story. We've been under a cloud of the NCAA investigation for about 5 years, so we're out from under it now, which is a real good thing. And got a fine young coach in Matt Luke, but Coach, an NCAA investigation, the time that it goes on is more damaging to you than the punishment. Just the way it hurts recruiting. So it's kind of a rebuild. They got most of their defense back, although it wasn't a great defense. So hopefully it'll be better, and young quarterback. But Ole Miss will compete, and they'll play hard. But as you know, that Western Division of the SEC, boy, that's a tough place to be.
That's amazing, isn't it? Good guys.
It's just unbelievable. You start out with Alabama, and LSU just continues to sign top 4-star and 5-star kids. Auburn gets good players there. Arkansas is going to be improved, and Mississippi State is played really good football over the last couple of years. Who am I? Oh my gosh, Texas A&M.
Texas A&M,
I think they are really fixing to get. Jimbo's a good. I think A&M is fixing to get good. I
agree with you. I agree with you totally. It's amazing when you look at Texas A&M. They probably got the finest facilities, certainly as good a facilities as anybody in the country. They have a tremendous amount of money, that oil money, behind that program. A lot of interest, good tradition. They're in the state of Texas, where you have outstanding football to recruit to, but they're a member of the Southeastern Conference, which is the best conference in the country. Now,
that's a strong combination.
That is
recruiting. Talking those Texas kids into going playing in the SEC is strong. That's strong. Really, yeah.
Come on in, let's go beat Alabama. That type thing. No, they've got a tremendous situation out there, Texas A&M, and I don't know how it could be stronger, really.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, I don't apologize, but I got to go to another appointment there. But I sure have enjoyed being with you.
Well, we've enjoyed having you, and apologize for taking all this time with you,
no
Archie.
Problem. It's no problem. I enjoyed the visit.
Good luck, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
All right, that is Archie Manning joining us right here on Talk Football with Coach K. We'll take a quick time out. When we come back, more Talk Football with Coach K. We'll wrap things up on the other side of this break on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
There's only one place in town for the lowest prices and greatest selection of firearms. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Visit our fully stocked Gun Pro shop for new and used firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Check out the Indoor Shooting Range. We offer rentals on guns, including fully automatic machine guns and silencers. Ladies, this is the safe place to learn how to use a gun. Plus, Tuesday is Ladies' Day. Women shoot for half price all day. The best place to buy firearms in Pensacola. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Highway 29 in Car City.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Hey, my friend's retail store was the victim of IoT password theft.
Yep. Cybercriminals are taking over security cameras, payment systems, and other IoT devices by exploiting vulnerabilities.
What if they target us and our dispersed network?
We're secured with Barracuda. We have advanced firewalls for our sites, enhanced security for our cloud infrastructure, and total email protection.
Such a relief.
Protect your business at barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every dollar spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
ESPN Pensacola 94.5, also on your HD radio at HD2 98.7 WYCT, and streaming on our website, ESPNpensacola.com. Welcome back into Talk Football with Coach K. I'm Jordan Glass, joined alongside me as always, Coach K, and we are wrapping up things on today's show. Got about another 5 minutes left, and Coach, just a great interview right there with Archie Manning. Everything from his their Manning Academy camp that they do, the great info about Peyton, Eli, even a little Cooper was thrown in there as well. And Coach, just one of our best interviews we've done so far.
Well, he's just a great guy. We could have kept him on for another 2 hours, really. There was a lot more to talk about, get his thoughts on some of the quarterbacks, for example, in the Southeastern Conference and, around the nation. He probably would have had a little more information on the kid at Oregon, too. But we didn't have time to get to that, and we kept him on as long as we possibly could, and he had to go. But you're right, and he's an outstanding interview, no doubt about it.
Coach, team he mentioned is a team that he sees as getting slowly but surely getting better is the Dallas Cowboys. And, Coach, you take a look at this. Amari Cooper is not really sweating or worrying about contract talks with the Dallas Cowboys. He's just going about business of making sure he's healthy and he's ready to go for this 2019 season, just kind of leaving it in the hands of whatever happens with the contract talks. And, Coach, I think that's the right way for him to approach this, is focus on the aspect of him on the field and being better for the 2019 season, and let the contract talks play out as they will.
That's exactly what he should be doing, and not be concerned about it right now. He's got plenty of time. In fact, I don't think he's not even into the last year on his rookie contract, so he's got time. He doesn't need to concentrate on that when there's so much that has to be done in off season.
No, you are absolutely right, Coach. And You take a look at it, switching gears now to college, looking at Clemson. ESPN's got a nice article on Trevor Lawrence here, and I urge all of our listeners, once the show is over, head over to ESPN.com/college football and read this article. It's talking about Trevor Lawrence might be the most NFL-ready sophomore we've ever seen in college football, and that's a possibility, Coach. But I'm not going to go there with it. Something else that stood out to me is the fact that it almost alludes to in the article that Trevor Lawrence, no surprise here, would have been a top 5, possibly even the number 1 overall pick in the draft this year had he decided to go out if he was eligible. The article kind of actually alludes to the fact that maybe Trevor Lawrence, even if he was eligible, wouldn't have even went because he would have stuck around, because there's more than just football on his map and his road life plan. And Coach, it's something that you see a guy on the field like this. He's got all the skill sets, he's got all the talent, he's got the size. Most times, 9 out of 10 times, those guys are heading to the NFL as soon as possible. But it looks like Trevor Lawrence has some other priorities he wants to take care of, and one of those is making sure he's the best player he can be when he heads to the NFL. But also looks like education playing an important role for Trevor Lawrence as well.
It's great to hear. I don't mind stepping out on the across the line a little bit and saying that absolutely he is the most ready to play in the NFL of any quarterback. And had he come out this past year, he would, and this is not just from me now, these are from many scouts, he would have, without question, been the number 1 pick in the draft had he come out this past year. He's a once in a lifetime quarterback. He's got 2 more years in college.
That's right, yeah.
And I think that's wonderful. And he's certainly going to be ready for the NFL when he comes out after his junior year. Great kid, too, to boot. So he's the total package.
All right, Coach, and some news from the NFL. Looks like the Tennessee Titans have announced they are going to retire 2 different jerseys of former players. Coach, obviously they're going to be retiring the number 9 jersey worn by Steve McNair, the popular quarterback there for the Titans once the franchise got started. But, Coach, they're also going to be retiring the number 27 worn by Eddie George, the Ohio State great running back. And, Coach, for both of those players, all I have to say about this is it's about time that they retire these numbers, especially for a guy like Steve McNair, who we all know, unfortunately, what ended up happening with him.
Yeah, well, these are all reasons from, within the organization. I guess they felt strongly enough about those 2 that they wanted to retire the jerseys, and that's up to each organization. I really think you have to think twice before you retire a jersey, because some people, I've talked to a couple of guys, said I wouldn't want my jersey retired. I would want a good player to come along and want to play in it and wear it and do something. But anyway, everybody to his own.
All right, that's going to be all the time we have for on today's show. Thank you so much for Coach K. I'm Jordan Glass. Stephen A. Smith Show coming up next.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 945. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.